life.
A very good afternoon to one and all present here. I, Mrs. Meenakshi Johari, Assistant Professor and Member of Placement Cell of Pillai College of Arts, Commerce and Science, Autonomous, welcome you all for one-day webinar on Mission 2021, Communicate with Confidence. Good communication is an essential tool in achieving productivity and maintaining strong working relationships at all levels of an organization. Good communication is a core leadership function and is a key characteristic of a good leader. Effective communication and effective leadership are closely intertwined. So today we have amongst us a very renowned resource person, Mr. Biplab Puitandy, who will share with you all the relevant tips and observations about the ability to communicate effectively and address complex challenges in new and innovative ways. Before we start with the topic, I would like to invite Mr. Gopakumar Pillai sir to welcome our today's resource person and say a few words about the placement cell of our college. Over to you, Gopa sir. Over to you, Gopa sir. You are on mute, sir.
Sorry.
Yes, sir.
A very good afternoon to everyone. I am Gopakumar Pillai, Assistant Professor and Placement Head of Pillai College of Arts, Commerce and Science. On behalf of the placement team, I warmly welcome our respected guest, Mr. Biplab Puitandy, and all my dear students to the webinar scheduled today on Mission 2021, Communicate with Confidence. I would like to take this opportunity to share a few words about our placement cell before proceeding further. So Pillai College of Arts, Commerce and Science has been in the forefront of activities bringing both corporate and companies close to the campus and encouraging them to establish facilities to cater all the needs of both students and faculty. The training and placement cell in the institute plays a pivotal role in counseling and guiding the students for their successful career placement, which is a crucial interface between the stage of completion of academic students and their entry into suitable employment. The placement cell also has been constantly putting in efforts to develop necessary skills in students to crack interviews, effectively clear placement drives, and secure a good career in reputed companies. Today's webinar is also one of these steps to accomplish the said objective. The students would be very much benefited by today's webinar and will surely help them build effective communication skills. I consider it as my honor to introduce our resource person, Mr. Biplab, who is the founder director at Edumindz. Mr. Biplab Puitandy sir is a noted academician based out of Mumbai, India. He is an international trainer and a certified coach. Being an authorized consultant of ETS USA, Pearson and British Council, he represents the gamut of reputed universities and colleges in India, USA, UK, Canada, and other parts of the world. With more than 20 years of training experience, Mr. Puitandy has an impeccable service record dedicated to the development of students and their career. He is skilled in training needs, analysis, learning management, executive coaching, interview preparation, and strategic planning. Functional expert in IELTS, TOEFL, PTE, SAT, GRE, and GMAT. Authorized consultant of ETS New Jersey, USA. More than 5,000 students have been trained and placed by him successfully in India and abroad. Mr. Puitandy, with a team of counselors, trainers, and associates, they form a consortium that helps students to grow and grow. To explore opportunities, simply connect. Once again, a hearty welcome to Biplab sir. I leave this platform to you, sir. Students are eagerly waiting to hear from you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Gopakumar sir. Thank you so much, Meenakshi ma'am, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. It's always a new day for me, meeting students, talking to them, guiding them, mentoring them, coaching them, showing them the right pathway. So that has been probably one of my dreams since childhood, that I would be helping this society, the inhabitants of the society, being a part of it. So my name is Biplab Puitandy, and I am the founder director of Edumindz. and it's a privilege and a lot of honor to be representing my company, Edumindz, to all of you, whoever is present here, especially the students of undergraduate studies, the postgraduate studies. Now, let me start off with a very simple note. Probably you must have seen, even in the hoardings somewhere, in advertisements, in books. People say, where there is a will, there's a way. And we have been learning it since childhood, haven't we? So the willfulness has to be developed first. You can vision the way ahead, definitely. But if you have that will within you, if you have that wish and want, if you have the desire, you can develop your skills to an extent that you achieve your goals sooner or probably faster than others do. So when we use these comparative terms as faster, more, sooner, then we probably talk about how good you communicate, how skillful you are in your soft skills, how knowledgeable you are in your own parameters, academic parameters, obviously, and how well you are networked and connected with the other parts, other people of the world. In different domains, you would see that nowadays people are getting connected. You've got social platforms, professional platforms, such as LinkedIn, or such as Twitter, such as Facebook, WhatsApp, Telegram, and you have people communicating with each other with their, sharing their knowledge, with their expertise, everything. So it's always, we all are supposed to be open to all of these channels, because these channels educate us. These channels inform us. These channels make us aware and possibly groom us the best. So let's begin our session, and I can see quite a few people who have joined in. Other people can join in even during the middle of the session. That's absolutely fine. Small presentation will definitely be shared with you so that you can refer to the content of the training. It's a training for an hour, and I would really like to thank the placement cell at PCAS, Pillai College of Arts, Commerce and Science, Panvel, Mumbai. Especially to Gopakumar Pillai sir, and Nakshi ma'am, and the other teachers and staff who are organizing, as well as the students who are attending today's session. So I'll be sharing the screen just to make it a little more visible, a little more interactive, and a little more communicative, because the session is all about how to communicate with confidence. Before I share the screen, just a little bit of question session should start the entire communication. So how many of us do feel that communication is the key to be employed in a particular company of choice? How many of us? If I open this question to the forum, globally, people would raise their hands and say, well, communication could be the second aspect behind academics. I agree. I second your opinion. Academics must come first. But when academics do not showcase your real potential, then communication does. Therefore, communication is practically a complementary to academic excellence. You'd be called proficient and efficient when you have your academic excellence, your knowledge, as well as your communication abilities at par with whatever is needed. If not, even if you're not excellent in communication, if you are at par with what the need is, you are there. You're employable. Your interviews will go well. Your projects go well. Your presentations do well. You're identified as one of the performers in your team. You get your promotions ahead of others. And a lot of other opportunities open their doors. So let's begin. And here is a small presentation for you that includes a video from a YouTube channel as well. There we go. I'll clip my video and I'll connect you to the presentation. I hope all of you can hear, can see and view. Can you view the screen, please? All of you? Are you able to see the screen? All right, so this is what we are. Let's understand where we stand today. And we are there with you. So I'm from Edumindz, and this presentation will hold on to what PCAS stands and how Edumindz has collaborated with PCAS, Pillai College of Arts, Commerce, and Science. So I'll be sharing the screen now, and please go through it once while I present this. Communicate with confidence is what this session is all about. And this is in association, Edumindz in association with PCAS. We'll just go ahead and talk about what we are as already been introduced. I'm Biplab Puitandy to the left of your screen. And we are accredited training partners of EGS USA, British Council, and Pearson. So we have the required professionalism and the kind of knowledge that we need in order to train you. In the parameters of coaching, in the parameters of mentoring, in the parameters of hand-holding, we are definitely there right from scratch till you become successful in the corporate world. What do we do? Yes, we offer a gamut of training such as TOEFL, GMAT, SAT, IELTS, CAT, LSAT, CELPIP, PT, and we are into corporate communication, career counseling, and overseas education as well. So when it comes down to the services that we offer, you can always find them on the Google Meet, or on Google business pages or other social media pages. So you do not really want to boast much about us. What we can do, when we should do, how we should do, matter the most. So our objective today, this training workshop, is precisely aimed at upskilling the undergraduate and the postgraduate students to make them employable. Okay? How we are going to do it? We're going to discuss a few points which will make you effective and influential. How does the market respond to your answers? What would a person follow? What are the rules that a person follows in order to give answers when they are there in front of the interview team? So this method that we have, we are trying to follow is called the CCC modeling, which is correctness, coherency, and clarity modeling. We will give you some examples, some case analysis during the entire presentation, and we will discuss a lot of other questions, as well as answer your queries too. So there it is. The first thing that you need to do in communication, whenever you are or wherever you are, whatever you're studying, is to express. When you initiate talks with others, be it your peers, be it your seniors, your teachers, your faculty members, your college staff, your employers, if you are employed somewhere, if you're an intern somewhere, your employers there as well, always feel free to express. And what are the 5 aspects of expression? They're happiness, sadness, anger, hunger, and wonder. In communication, all these 5 parameters, all these 5 modules of expression are supposed to be learned and incorporated. So say, for instance, if you're happy, you're supposed to show you are happy. You're supposed to wear a smile in order to explain others that you are precisely happy. If you're sad, let others know that you are upset. You're not really very happy. If you are in anger, make sure that you tell others that something is making you annoyed. And there is an expression. There's a formal expression. There's an informal expression. Normally, what we do among our friends, we informally express ourselves. Now, that is one category which you should enjoy, which you should embrace. However, when you are in the middle of an interview, or when you are working somewhere, when you are in college, or when you are an intern somewhere, please make sure that your expressions are supposed to be diplomatically and tactfully handled. So if you are sad, it has to be diplomatically handled. If you're angry, it has to be diplomatically handled. But expressions are must. You must show your expressions, probably in an indirect way. So this entire training sessions, even after this 1 hour of a short discussion that we are having today with you, there could be some follow-up sessions later on. There could be some communication training programs in your college given to you by your faculty members, or probably outsourced to people like us, wherein we deliver the same aspects. How to handle happiness, how to handle sadness, anger, hunger, how to express wonder, what do you do when you're surprised, how to withdraw your emotions sometimes, how to show that you are happy but you are actually sad inside. So all of these expressions come under proper and appropriate communication. But what are the fundamentals of communication? Let's understand that before we go ahead and try to figure out how expression works. So what are the fundamentals? What do we need to do as individuals? We need to identify, we need to acknowledge, we need to appreciate, and then we need to answer. For an instance, if I ask one of you, all of a sudden, right in the middle of the road, when we meet, hey, what's your name? The first thing that you would do is to give a grim look. You would probably gaze at that person, probably me as well, and you would try to acknowledge, you will try to identify first whether you know me. Then you would acknowledge the question, well, this person's asking me my name. Then you would appreciate the gesture. Probably somebody else has not asked, I have asked you. So that's appreciation. And then finally you would answer. Now all these are, happen one after the other inside your conscious part of the brain. And without you knowing it, these all things happen. And finally, you end up answering yourself. Okay? With your name. This is what happens. Now, in communication training, in communication with confidence, when you try to communicate with confidence with others, what you normally do is to process this information pretty fast, sequential. And then you behave in a very, very positive way. There are different approaches available. There are different theories available. You can surf internet. You can Google. You can go to YouTube. You can learn a few things from there as well. And you can always walk up to people like us, and we'll be able to technically entertain you as well as train you in these aspects, wherein the end product would be you acquiring knowledge and you becoming informed and then answering questions to specific queries available. Okay, so you should explore different approaches. You should identify the ideal approach that is going to be suitable for you, and then you choose a customized approach. Okay, we will go ahead and watch a video about how these things happen. So I'll take you there. I hope you're able to understand what I'm saying. Share the screen.
Sir, you're not audible, sir. I think you're mute. After video will
Oh,
Hello. So you were not audible.
okay. Was I not audible?
You're audible now. Your screen
Okay.
is audible.
Was the screen audible? I mean, was the video audible?
The video was not there, sir, and screen is also not visible.
Give me a minute.
Yes, sir.
Sorry to interrupt, sir, but I guess the video is seen, but it is not audible.
I think it's not getting connected. That's fine. I'll just switch it off.
Okay.
All right. Never mind, ma'am. Due to technical reasons, probably it was not getting connected. Even though we tested it before starting the session, but it was still not working. This can happen. So this was also a part of communication or technical communication error once again, and I must admit it. I hope you can listen to me now properly?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Perfect. So I would be sharing the videos as well as the presentations to be shared among the students as well. So Meenakshi ma'am can probably proceed ahead and share that with the students. However, when it comes down to the technicalities of communications, technicalities of confidence, please understand a few things that you would have to develop. What are those things? Develop your listening habits. Please listen to the kind of questions that are being asked. If the questions are asked in more complex ways, it's not necessary that you answer following the same complexity. Please do not imitate the question that the person who asks you the question. The question can be complex. Your answer should be as simple as possible. Remember something in mind. The faster one comprehends your answer, the better communication is set up. So what's the target? What's the target of communication? The target of communication, effective and successful communication, is when you are able to deliver what you wanted to, and the person whom you have spoken with has been able to understand what you said. So it's a two-way affair. Your delivery and the recipient's confirmation of comprehension of that delivery, what you did. That's it. That's how it is. So you make sure that you are correct. You make sure that you are coherent, sequential, and you make sure that you are clear in your communication. That will ensure that all your answers, wherever you are, be it your colleagues, be it your teachers, your faculty members, within the college, outside, everywhere, the principle of communication remains unfazed, unchanged. And it's CCC, that means clarity, correctness, and coherency. Keep it in mind, and I'll share the next slide to continue the presentation further. This is what did not work. So I would just skip the screen and take you through why are communication skills important. Now, please understand why is communication skill important, so important in the market. You need to be there, you need to be ready, and you need to be what you are. Please do not imitate, as I have already requested you. Students, you don't need to copy each other or copy somebody whom you really like. What you can do is to take down the positive points from that person, incorporate the best of the ideas and the best of the principles, and then blend it with your own qualities and then deliver. That will give you the best of communications. So in communication, writing, listening, reading, and speaking are the 4 parameters. And these are internationally accepted, whichever language you do, be it Hindi, be it Marathi, be it English, be it Greek. All you need to do is to master these four parameters, these four modules. Listening comprises of the maximum. If you're a better listener, I'm sure you would be a better communicator. Writing, speaking, and reading follow the listening anyways. So when you listen, you have to focus first. If you do not focus, you miss out on a lot of listening, a lot of minute details, a lot of rudimentary details inside inside a particular speech or a particular reading or somebody's lecture. If you really wish to understand what that lecture is all about, please ensure that you focus on the lecture, take down the most important points, which are called the pivot points, and then answer. Once you have answered your question, repeat the same procedure without fault. While you do it, never ever forget that your confidence has to be built up in the background as well. And how do you do it? You carry a smile, you socialize with people, you discuss in groups, and you make your presence felt. In most of the tests these days, we have seen group discussion has become a part of the entire interviewing process. So what do these group discussions do? How do they quantify you? How do they measure your skills when you apply for an employment? Group discussion practically checks your knowledge on a particular aspect, on a particular topic, definitely, without doubt. However, it checks your communication, overall communication ability. It checks how good you are in immersing into the topic and absorbing the entire knowledge about the topic and then delivering it so that you make your presence felt, so that you're able to discuss in the groups, throwing some questions to the group members. Whether you have exchanged your greetings, your pleasantries with your people, that is called how to socialize, and whether you have always carried a smile in your face. And that helps you to crack a lot of interviews, whether you agree or disagree. It's not only knowledge, not only your academic excellence that gives you a job. It's communication that ensures that your job is well paid. And that's how corporate looks at it. One more thing of confidence building during communication is that you must not be intimidated by others. See, sometimes what happens is we get influenced by people around us. We get intimidated by them as well. Oh, this person, Mr. X, speaks so well. Mr. X is fabulous in his knowledge. Mr. Y does everything that I can't do. These all are quantifying measures behind intimidation. This is how intimidation happens. Please disapprove that. You are fantastic in what you do. You are already blessed in certain talents which others are not. If you're not able to discover which are those qualities that you possess, please make sure that you meet your faculties, meet people like us, face crowd, earn their trust, explore, demonstrate your skills, and just wait for their appreciation. Once you are appreciated by others, your skill sets will definitely be approved by you. And that factor of intimidation because of somebody else's excellent qualities would actually fade away. So never approve intimidation. You are fantastic. Believe in your own abilities. Earn the trust among your people that you communicate with, and then automatically you would grow up. Okay. Go to the next slide. In communication, before I present the screen to you, I would like to talk to you a little bit. So I'm stopping this. And I can see a few people around. I can see only, yes. If anybody can answer me, Do you understand how presentation is done? What is the generic way of presenting? What are those specifics of presentation moduling? Even those form a part of communication. It's not only you communicating with others, your work must also communicate. So what are your works? What do you want to demonstrate? You demonstrate your achievements. You demonstrate your academics. You write a CV, a resume. It could be a one-pager resume. Communication starts there. Your resume and your presentation there while writing CV actually ensures that the employer identifies you as a potential resource. Only then the rest will follow. So when we talk about shortlisting of candidates in the human resource department of a particular company, they shortlist you not only on the basis of your academic excellence, academic proficiency, but they shortlist you on the basis of a lot of other aspects. Communication is one such. Resume building is one such. Nowadays, small video introduction has become a trend. So a lot of people, a lot of corporations, especially the multinational companies, have started asking you for that. Please ensure that your presence with a smile is acceptable. Most of the training sessions post-COVID, most of the interviews post-COVID have become online. So we have resorted to Skype instead of calling you to our companies. How do you behave? What are the behavioral changes that you need to incorporate when you appear for an interview online? What is the attire that is most appreciated there as well? What are the aspects that you need to take care while presenting yourself during the interview? How to focus, how to not get distracted. All of these have formed a part of communication, and all of these together actually talks about your confidence in communication. Make sure that you do all of these together. You cannot really leave one part behind and take care of the rest. Those days are gone. Please ensure that you become employable in totality. Your academics, your communication abilities, and your presentation skills. All these three will definitely take you through this ladder of corporate success. You are all into undergraduate studies or probably postgraduate studies into the final year. Your placement cell will organize a lot of interviews. Most of the interviews that the placement cell organizes and has been organizing since 2020 have always been Skype-based, WhatsApp-based, Zoom-based, Google Meet-based. So all of these are social media platform-based. Hence, prepare yourself, make yourself visible, present yourself in a very, very appreciable way. Make it generic initially, but later on, make it specific to the industry you are applying to. Your confidence will automatically improve if you do these among yourselves. So make groups inside the placement cell, people of PCAS, students at Pillai College of Arts, Commerce and Science. Please make groups. Please interact among yourselves. Throw some group discussion sessions. Involve the faculties. Invite them to judge you. Invite them to give you feedback. Your people at the helm of placement cell can always come, reach out to people like us as well. And we can definitely be of help at any time. But make sure you become employable. Not by the virtue of your academic proficiency only, but also on the virtue of, by the virtues of your presentation, your communication, and your confidence. I hope I was clear in that. So we continue with the next part of the slide. I believe everybody can see it. Look at the presentation dynamics that a graduate student, new age graduate student must know. And if we just say that our CV talks enough, I must tell you that is not enough. So when you present yourself, please make sure that you're technically, your dynamics are technically at par with what the need is. So you focus and do not get distracted. You get your points across effectively. You say the right thing in the right way at the right moment. So make sure that your presentation is sequential, is coherent to what the question and the topic is. Ensure, that's the fourth point, ensure that the engagement of participants and the interviewers is taken care of. So if you wish to ask a question or if you wish to answer a question, please make sure that you look at all the interviewers, to the entire panel together once. Look at their eyes. Show that you are confidently answering. And that is what is going to make a difference. Even if your answer is not elaborate, even if your knowledge base is a little less than your peers, your communication and your confidence have to speak up in tandem, and they must select you. And trust me, that happens. When I take interviews, I make sure that I look at three things among my candidates, among the aspirants. So first thing is how well they're presenting themselves. Second, how correct they are when they want to say something or when they wish to demonstrate. And number three, how well they connect an answer with the next answer. How coherent they are. You must not seem to be disoriented at any point in time. Therefore, make sure that you build the necessary rapport. You build the rapport just by probably greeting each other, or maybe using some short words which are connectors, words which are modifiers. You can definitely use those. You can use certain short forms such as, well, let me take a break here. Allow me to take a point in order to exemplify this. May I take an instance? May I take an example to explain the answer? Your answers are supposed to be like this. So these are what actually ensure and assure that you are more confident than others. During the training sessions, during subsequent training sessions, we have been telling people that they are supposed to follow these principles. Your answers, your answer to a particular question, if the question is a little crooked, little from somewhere you are not comfortable and accustomed to, then you're supposed to use a filler. Use the internationally accepted filler such as, well, buy some time, buy a few seconds for yourself. After uttering the word well, take a second gap. And then if you're still not ready with a particular answer, confidently allow yourself a few minutes, such as, well, let me take an example probably that I can think of right now to explain this answer. And then take 1 second or 2 seconds of pause and then start. So the interviewers would actually be expecting you to say something. And by that time, you've already taken 5-6 seconds from the interviewer, and you are clever. You're confident. You already have your answer in your conscious mind by then. Please go ahead and deliver your answer after that. So these are small modules, very small, delicate parts of confidence build-up during communication. The last point talks about develop exemplary oratory skills. Now, a lot of people may not be good orators, but they're good at their at giving answers to specific questions. Please build on that, build on your vocabulary, involve and indulge yourself in a lot of group talks, discuss on topics, and then carry on with your interview preparations as well. We go to the next slide. Remember, communication is a soft skill. Most of the skills are soft, however, but communication is probably the softest. Does that really mean that you would not reason your answers? Does that really mean that you would not express the purpose? Does that really mean that you would not logically explain why you uttered a particular word? No. It just means that you have to analyze the need. You have to identify the reason, the purpose, the intent, and ensure that you process a specific method to deliver your answer. Remember, these skills are always softer. Communication is a soft skill. But when it is delivered in the most appropriate way, it can be the most effective tool. So you design your delivery. You comprehend what the need is. You collect data and information. You curate it, you design it, and then you communicate to the other person. If you do all of these parameters, if you take care of all of these features, I'm sure your soft skill is going to be the most effective skill, and that is communication. Okay. Since it has been, in the last probably 10, 15 minutes, it has just been a one-way traffic. So I've been giving lectures. I must ask you, if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask me. I'll try to answer those questions. And then there are three more slides to share with you, and we will finish off after that. If you have any questions, you can ask me. It's a live session, and it is aired on YouTube as well. So a lot of people are probably have joined and they're watching it. And if not, they might just watch it later. However, my request to all of you, whoever is watching, is to throw questions, even in the comment box or in the query box, chat box, and I shall be able to answer those. Anyone with a question? All right, we waited and we have not really found out a question. And does that ensure that people are understanding? Okay, never mind. We go ahead. So just to club it once again, summarization of whatever we have spoken. We have asked you to learn and evolve in order to stay ahead and updated in today's market. You have to work on your fundamentals of grammar in communication in any language you talk. It could be even your mother tongue. You have to be correct in your fundamentals. You need to know the contents of the answers beforehand. If not, you have to design it in such a way that you can confidently portray it. You have to understand the sequence of activities and then gradually answer. Prepare your answers and then answer probably. That is the best and simplest way of saying. Please take care of your behavior and your attire. You're supposed to be formally attired during your interviews or during your business meetings. Some people from Pillai, I'm sure they would love to become entrepreneurs. They have this entrepreneur skills in them. So they are capable of designing new products, selling them in the market, making people aware of a new concept. And I must say, today's generation is far more innovative. And that is how we evolve, right? We learn new things, we evolve, and we make sure that the next generation learns something from us. That's almost the last slide. So the motto of this entire presentation was to make you proceed towards becoming leaders in the industry. If you take care of your communication abilities, I'm sure people will find you. It's just not a matter of a few days of training or a few months of training. It ensures that please ensure that you take care of your entire self. You groom yourself up. Prepare for every interview. Talk to people. Collect data. Go ahead and face people with difficult questions who would be making you more sharp. The more you meet such people, the better you will be. And that is the only method to build confidence in your communication abilities. And that's the way you would proceed to become leaders of the next generation. Okay. I'm here. Once again, I'm from Edumindz. My name is Biplab, and this is what I have explained through a small presentation. I want to end this presentation with a small quote from Confucius. There's a Chinese, and he said, "Tell me and I hear, show me and I see, involve me and I learn." The more you get involved, the better you learn. So please be successful. With all my best wishes, you can be the best. Is dynamic communication? I'm getting questions now, so rather go ahead. It says, is dynamic communication an important aspect of interview? Yes, it is. Afshan ma'am, yes, it is definitely. Dynamic communication actually involves your understanding of concepts, your delivery, and your presentability. So it may not talk about a specific area that you have mastered in, but it will also take care of a lot of other aspects when you are getting interviewed. There are many facets of dynamic communication, however, Afshan, and those are probably part of, in details training. So if anybody wants to get into that training, I would most probably I would be glad to help him out or help her out. So Afshan, if you have any other questions you can ask, or anybody else.
So this is Professor Pritika this side.
Yes,
there
Professor.
are a couple of questions, sir, on the YouTube platform.
Yes, please go ahead.
A student has asked for your mail ID actually, sir.
Okay, so I'll just close the screen. The mail ID is there, biplab.puitandy@gmail.com and inquiry@edumindz.com. They can connect me there.
Sure, sir. I'll just type that out actually for them.
I'll type it, no problems.
So there's another question actually here. The question is by Vishnu Priya. She says, if we don't know an answer to a question at all,
Yes.
how do we handle that situation and not let our confidence down?
Sure. That's an interesting aspect. Vishnu Priya, is that the name? Am I correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Perfect. Ma'am, when we do not know answer to a specific question, we need to be cleverly avoiding that. So how do you do it? Communicatively, we use certain techniques, and those techniques are such as, I'll give you an example to make myself a little more clear. Say, for instance, somebody asks me, Vishnu Priya asks me a question on, say, geography. And I'm not that great in geography. I don't really know where European continent lies in the globe. Now, once she asks me a question, I am in the middle of the sea. I don't even know. So I would avoid this cleverly, saying, acknowledging the question first. Well, I believe I should have studied geography a little more in my schools. I can use this. That seems to be a geography-related question. And I must admit that I have not studied geography much with interest, or I have not studied geography with interest when I was in school. Why did I say this? It's because I am into engineering. I may not be very, very conversant with geography as such. A similar case is with history. One might not find enough answers to those specific questions that are asked sometimes. Please understand, please note, Vishnupriya and everybody else, when there is an interview, the interviewer, when they ask you specific questions, especially with job interviews, I'm only talking about employment interviews today. When they ask you a specific question, they have an intention in their mind. How well did you answer carries equal weightage as how well you could avoid. I hope you understood that.
So can I take the next question?
Sure, please, ma'am.
Yeah. So the next question is by Gupta Lakshmi. She asks, how can one improve the confidence while communicating to someone else? Basically, how can she improvise with regards to confidence specifically?
Okay. Her name is Gupta, is it?
It's Lakshmi, sir.
Lakshmi, thank you so much, ma'am, for defining me there. Lakshmi, when you talk about confidence builder, it happens in different stages and through different habits. Now, in a human life, confidence precisely, transforms. Confidence of a child is called an abrupt confidence. Confidence in an adolescent is a different type of a confidence, and the confidence among adults is a different type of a confidence. Now, that is a part of psychology. However, when you are asking me a specific question about how to build confidence, then obviously the second question comes in along with it, because this question is not complete. The second question is how to build the entire question should be how to build confidence while answering questions to a specific, in a specific field. If you are confident, why am I telling you this, Lakshmi? Understand, if you are confident, if you know a particular answer, suppose you are an English literature student, and you know the difference between pre-Victorian and post-Victorian English, the linguistic skills, the language parameters, the twist sentence, the contortions in the language. And if somebody asks you questions on that, you are there. You are already confident. You don't really have to bother much. Okay? But if you are faced with a question related to, say, how nanoparticles behave when they are injected or administered into the bloodstream of a human being, then your confidence might just not be at par, right? So confidence build-up depends on which category, which area you're working on. Overall confidence, in order to answer this question, is for everybody. Overall confidence is built up by following, number one, listening, that is comprehending. Number two, collecting data or getting informed. Number three, answering the question carefully in sequence. This shows your confidence precisely in whichever area you work in. Next question, please. I hope that was answered.
Thank you, sir. So there's another question
Yes,
where the participant has asked for a couple of tips on writing an email when approaching someone during an interview or when sharing your resume.
Yes, certainly. Email etiquettes is an integral part of communication. So when you write an email, please understand, please refer to what they wanted you to do. If the employer asks you to send a cover letter, make sure that you send a cover letter followed by your CV. If they have just asked you to send your resume, then it can be sent in just 2 or 3 lines. Dear sir, ma'am, please find herewith, or whatever the format is, you are comfortable with a particular format, you please follow that format. Do not try to imitate something. So please write the first line, which will only talk about the attachment. And next, and the third line, I hope I would wait for your acknowledgement. And then regards, your name, your contact details. That's it. That's it. Please do not extend your emails if they have not asked you to do. If they have asked you to write a cover letter, make sure that the cover letter be sent through email body itself, and the resume can be an attachment. Is that clear?
So, one of the final questions, sir.
Sure.
So the participants have asked a couple of points on for attending a group discussion session. So what would be certain ideal things to deal with when in a group discussion session?
Okay, in a group discussion session, ma'am, normally what we ask our participants or aspirants to discuss comprises of all social, behavioral, and environmental matters. Okay, so we avoid asking controversial issues pertaining to politics, religion, and other aspects of the society, but we definitely make sure that people discuss certain important aspects of the country, region, world. I'll give you a few examples. Probably that will make my answer clear. Now, we asked aspirants about whether one should go abroad to study, to pursue higher studies. How well that is justified. Second question could be, do you believe adolescents of 21st century are more rude to their parents and guardians? Third question could be, how has junk food influenced health or impacted health among the teenagers? The fourth question could well be, should a student be allowed to work when he or she is in his high school or in his graduation or undergraduation? Last question could be, these are just one of hundreds of topics that we use. One such topic is, do you believe investment or probably savings is a necessary investment? Or do you really think that savings can be avoided and that should be invested to make the money grow? So these are the questions. So if we have to understand when we give group discussions, we normally try to understand the quality of people. So when we select, suppose we shortlist a group, ma'am, a group of 10 people for a group discussion, or probably 6 people for a group discussion, we make sure that these 6 people belong to specific categories. If I'm looking at a finance personnel, or probably an AVP to be selected from a group of people, I would ensure that all the 6 people belong to different fields and they can ask each other questions probably. Even during the group discussion, they might just counter question. They can throw their counterpoints as well. So you make sure that happens. Any other question that we have?
So that's all for the questions, sir.
Okay. So yes, people can connect with me, connect with us precisely at Edumindz. And if people wish to connect with PCAS, Pillai College, you're most welcome. Please connect with your college. We are there. The CV presents a full story of your academic credentials. So the length of the document is variable. It's a detailed information on your edu experience. Thank you so much, Afshan ma'am, for sharing this on the chat box.
Sir, thank you so much. I'll now like to propose the vote of thanks, sir. Thank you. That was a very, very much valuable session, and I'm sure that students are going to get a maximum out of it, sir. Now, to formally conclude the session, I'd like to propose the vote of thanks. So, good evening again, everyone, from me. It is a privilege to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of the Placement Cell, Pillai College of Arts, Science and Commerce. My heartfelt thanks to Mr. Biplab for the enriching interactive session on Mission 2021, Communicate with Confidence. It was indeed an excellent session for all of us, and I'm sure will help all the participants to include the skills they have learned today. I also thank the participants for their participation, and I hope that they surely work on inculcating the valuable points that Sir has shared with us today. Once again, thank you everyone, and I'll be sharing off the feedback link now. So I request all the participants to mandatorily fill out the feedback link, and do feel free to connect with Sir. Sir has already shared his the website and as well as the email where you can connect with Sir. Any other things or any other questions in case, kindly put up ASAP in the chat box so that that can be asked to Sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And I guess I should thank everybody, whoever has attended. Thank you so much, Afshan ma'am, for your inputs. I'll be sharing the presentation with you as well. That can be referred to whenever you wish to. Once again, I feel privileged to have been associated with PCAS as well as for this training session. Take care. All the best wishes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the valuable tips. I'm sure it's really going to help our students. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, ma'am. Thank you, Pratika ma'am. Thank you, Meenakshi ma'am. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, sir.
Recording stopped.
Ma'am, sir has dropped off from the meeting. Meenakshi ma'am?